Please you need to ask, we have different gifts. If prophecy, use it according to the standard of faith. Hallelujah. So prophecy is one of the giftings of the Holy Spirit given by God to the church. And it is an office. There is an office of a prophet, and there is a gift of prophecy. So there are two different types here. I want us to take it one after the other. We have to understand in order not to mingle or put it all together. There is an office of a prophet who it becomes a shepherd of a church called a prophet. And there is a gift of a prophecy. Now the fact that somebody can prophesy in a church does not make that person does not mean that the person has the office of a prophet or does not have the calling as a pastor. Let's put it that way, in order to make it simple. So there is a difference between the office of the prophet, which is a call or a calling, to be called as a man of God, a woman of God, with the gift of prophecy. Then there is what is called prophecy, which some people in a church, after we have finished praying or praising God or worshiping God, some people will rise up and they will begin to speak in other tongues. That is called prophecy. Amen. So if you've been given the gift of prophecy, the Bible says use it according to the standard of faith. If service, in service. If teaching, in teaching. If exalting, in exaltation. Giving with generosity. Leading with diligence. Showing mercy with cheerfulness. We're going to dwell on teaching this morning. And he says, love man be without hypocrisy. Detest evil. Cling to what is good. Show family affection to one another with brotherly love. Outdo one another in showing honor. Do not lack diligence. Be fervent in spirit. Serve the Lord. Rejoice in hope. Be patient in affliction. Be persistent in prayer. Share with the saints in their needs. Pursue hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Amen. So we are dwelling on the gift of teachings this morning. Now, who is a teacher? The gift of teachings. One of the giftings that the Holy Spirit has given is teaching. A teacher. Somebody who has been endowed to teach the word of God in the church, whether by Sunday school or by different means of teaching. Amen?
Amen.
It is one of the calling, the office of the fivefold ministry. Teaching is one of them. So somebody is called to prophesy, somebody is called to serve in the house, cleaning, putting things in order, making sure everything is fine. Somebody is called to do administration work. Somebody is called to prophesy. Somebody is called to teach. Somebody is called to exhort. So, how do you understand the teaching aspect of it? The type of motivational gift listed in Romans 12 says is the gift of teaching. The Greek word for teaching means didasko, D-I-D-A-S-K-O, which means simple to teach or to give instructions. So somebody who has the ability to give instructions from the word of God is called a teacher. in the house of the Lord. And we don't have too many teachers. We have school teachers who are teaching in the school. When it comes to the church, there are those that have been given a gift of teaching that they did not have to go to, how do they call it, this government school to become a big teacher. This one is given by the Holy Spirit. And in the church, if we find somebody who has the gift of teaching, we train such person and giving that person a chance to participate in the work of the house of the Lord. Very, very important. Amen?
Amen.
Because without teaching, the church will not grow in spirit and in truth. Without teaching, the members of the church will not be knowledgeable. Like I always say, I can stand on one word, I can stand on there and preach on 2 hours with them. By the end of the day, we will leave church and nobody will remember anything we can talk about. With the gift of teachings, the person without gifting has the ability to slow down and teach one after the other to make sure that everybody absorbs something. So the teacher is different from the preacher. Hallelujah. Is there any question? The person with a gift then should be functioning at least to some degree in the area of teaching others. Actually, we're tempted to use the word researcher because we found that many with this gift were especially drawn into fields of research. And many of them may not be overtly involved with the functioning of teaching. Or they may do their teaching through writing papers, articles, dissertations, books, rather than in person. Or something that the people will dictate. But it's going to be based 100% on the doctrines of the Bible, the teachings of the Bible. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
And the person, the word logical means that whatever the person is saying will line up with the word of God. It's not something that is going to make you what you want to hear or make your ears itchy, because that is what you want to hear. But the person is going to teach according to the wisdom and the knowledge of God without thinking about whether you like it or not, believe it or not believe it. Secondly, the person will teach systematically. In other words, will go from one word to another word and will explain every details of that word from the biblical point of view. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Now, the person with the gift of teaching validates truth by checking out the facts. And that's why I said that they'll go and research what others have thought about the same teachings. They will find out and then they will compare the Bible. Some will go as far as to study the Greek word, the Hebrew word, the Aramaic word, and compare with the English word. Hallelujah. So teachers, so the person validates truth by checking out the facts. And that's how every minister is supposed to do. You don't just step on one word and that's it. Oh, somebody says that a Christian cannot be possessed with a demon. And people stand on this word, and it doesn't matter what you teach them. They will tell you no. The Bible says a Christian cannot be demonic possessed. But you ask a person where in the Bible that you say that, they will not be able to tell you where. There's no quotation from Genesis to Revelation that says that the child of God cannot be possessed with a demon. There's no Bible quotation like that. Yet some preachers, some ministers will stand on these theological teachings and they will, no matter what you teach them, they will not take it. Because they have taken it from somebody else. And I believe this is the occultic people's idea. It's not from the Bible. So a teacher will prove everything he teaches, will validate everywhere. That will come out. Because you see, when we teach the Word of God, we will give an account to God for every word that came out of our mouth. It's not a joke to be called to teach in the house of the Lord. You will account for each word that came out of your mouth. Because those words can make somebody leave church. Those words can build somebody up to get somebody to grow and become more mature in the things of God. Praise the Lord. So whatever that is coming out of your mouth or the mouth of a teacher should be validated with the truth by checking out the facts from the Bible and not from Bible college teachings, not from some bishop teachings, not from your old church that you used to go, what they taught you there. Praise the Lord. Many people make these mistakes. A young lady came here and she didn't know nothing about deliverance, yet she needed deliverance. And she'll ask questions about everything, even my dress. She wanna know if it's in the Bible. Praise the Lord. Because probably they've taught her certain things when she used to be. So if I put on the robe of a minister, you know there's a special robe every ordained pastor has. And her pastor never used to have that robe. Probably the pastor was not ordained. So the first day she saw me with that dress, she asked, "Pastor, isn't this Roman Catholic priest dress?" I mean, she said, when I saw you with this dress, I now begin to think, is my pastor also one of the false prophets or what? Why is he wearing this kind of dress? Hallelujah. She will ask all sorts of questions. They came to a point in time, I told her, you know what? Become like a child. See, for you to grow in the Lord, become like a child. Don't think you know it all. Don't think you understand it all. Everything that we teach you from the Bible, as long as it's coming from the Bible, believe it and take it as it is. Other than that, you will never grow. Praise the Lord. You got to drop whatever you know and take what we're teaching. As long as we are proving it from the Bible and not from our own thoughts or imagination, whatever we've heard somebody else saying. So this person, because she didn't want to let go of the past, whatever they taught her, after getting her deliverance, she left the church. So the person with the gift of teachings will always validate every word that is coming from the preacher or the teacher or wherever you're hearing it from. Very important. That person loves to study and to do research. Praise the Lord. So I go from topic to topic. The word faith, what does it mean? I will find out from the Bible what it means. I will look for quotations. Every quotation that talks about faith, from Genesis to Revelation, I will look for that word. Then I'll go into dictionary and hear what the dictionary says about faith. then probably go as far as to research about the Greek word for faith, or Hebrew word for faith, or Aramaic word for faith. And when you're able to compare all these things together and compare it with the biblical scriptures, then you can conclude what it means, what faith really means. Hallelujah. So, every one of us need a teachable spirit. We need to do research about the Word of God. We need to find out, what does the Bible say about this? What does the Bible say about this? Not what somebody else says. A teacher will always research, will find out. Amen.
Amen.
Other than that, you believe everything and will mess up. A teacher prefers to use biblical illustrations rather than live illustrations. Remember, if you see how I teach and preach, I always bring a live story and add it up with the biblical teachings, the quotations. Very important, because you can't only stand on live situations. You got to teach from the Word of God and then convince the people with the live illustrations. What has taken place before, what has happened before. To convince them that it's not only the Bible that is saying it, it happens in the physical also. You get upset when scripture is used out of context. Yes, that is me. Praise the Lord. When the scripture is used out of context, I get upset. I can't stand it. Yes, I was reading 2 Samuel, and David talks about how Jonathan, him and Jonathan used to love each other, and he uses the word because Jonathan was there at that time. So David was kind of mourning his friend. So he uses the word that the love between him, that was between him and Jonathan, was greater than the love of a woman. And do you know that this is where the gay and the lesbian people take a scripture from, and they base their gayism and lesbianism from this scripture. They've taken it out of context. Hallelujah. David is not saying that he had a sexual relationship with Jonathan. No. He was comparing the kind of love that was between them, that it was so deep to the extent that if a woman loves a man, this is the kind of love that was between. Jonathan preferred to let go of his power, his authority. Jonathan was to become the next president of the whole Israel. But Jonathan understood the word of God and the principle of God, removed himself, knew that his father was making a mistake, that God had said that the throne should be given to David. So Jonathan rather decided to accept what God is saying about David rather than listening to his father and end up becoming an enemy to God. Do you understand the topic? Talking about teaching. A person with a teachable gift. So Jonathan began to love David as a man God has chosen to lead Israel. And he would disobey his father because of David. In this secret, his father would tell him about David that he's going to trap David and kill him, Jonathan will rather hide himself secretly and come and reveal the secret of his father to David, to save David from being assassinated. So that's what the Bible is saying. Has nothing to do with sexual relationship. Never at all. But you see, David and lesbians are holding on to this well. And they are saying that David said that the love that was between him and Jonathan is greater than the love of a woman. So this word is taken out of context. A person that has a teaching inside will never accept such a word. Never. And that's why sometimes you see some Christians arguing with some people. It's not because they love to argue, but they can't stand it when they see that the word of God is taken out of context. They want people to understand the whole truth. Praise the Lord.